My mic here. This is part 2 of my reveal, and I want to fix something here for Jeff, and then I want to also fix something or give some people some ideas, some attorneys some ideas here. The monitoring system that was monitoring the sprinkler system, and I'm going to get to it as part of the audio that was publicly released, and we'll help out that. The frustration of this commenter's comments will clear it up, some narrative. There was a couple of transfers that took place. Apparently, I'm guessing rather, that there's a problem with the 911 calls from Surfside and Miami, intermixing, calling 911 that you wind up in Miami's 911 call operator or possibly Surfside's operator. But either way, there's multiple 911 operators that they're dealing with that gets transferred. One of the issues is that the alarm system apparently had notification before the collapse of the building around 1:16 a.m. We'll use this audio from here to verify that you can hear it. And my thinking is this, is that he called 911 police. I don't know if 911 goes to police or if it goes to fire, but apparently the alarm system company called the police and not he was getting a fire alarm signal, as he states, and yet he calls the police and not the fire company, the dispatcher, the fire department dispatcher. And so there is a delay there, and I think Jeff states that, why is this guy taking so long? Maybe they have an issue with who they're going to hand this off to. Are they going to hand it, or is he going to take it? And apparently, per the video, the guy takes it kind of nonchalantly and says, "Yeah, what is it again? It's the fire alarm system." He's like, "Oh, okay. Tell me your address again." Normally, you start dispatching immediately, and you worry about all that other paperwork stuff in the background. But this guy, how long did he take to call 911? Transfer it to the fire department is what the question is, because the police got there first when it should have been the fire department first, right? The first call came in was before the fire department, as I can understand it would, and it would have been 911 phone call, fire department, the alarm system. How long? Where did he actually? So you want to subpoena and find out that from that phone records. Did they actually make a phone call first to the building to see if they could figure out whether there was a false alarm or not? Because these companies do that sometimes instead of calling directly. I remember when I was going to the security system, they said, "We're going to call you first." I said, "Well, that's stupid. If my house is being broken into and you've got a policy to call me first, it doesn't work for me. I want you to call the police first." And then, I said, "There'll be no false alarms on my part. I will not make a mistake. If I do, I'll call you immediately saying, I'm making this error, don't call 911. And I said, it will be that way. But I could not get them to not want to track me down first. And worse than that, then track down a second number before calling the police. So I'm like, well, this is a useless system. You'll get no money from me. We'll come back to the 16. I got to write that down, incidentally. 616 in this queue. Let's go to the part of the video that he posted. It was at 1:16, I think it was. I might let it queue up. I'll let Jeff talk a second, maybe. Let's hear it, because I have to do his repair his narrative anyway. But let's go.
This explosion come at 877.
Okay, this is not it. Hold on. It's the next one up.
I'm sorry, 8777 what?
Okay, so right here he's conferring with the family that came down to the lobby to tell him to call the police.
Yeah, we'll disregard that.
They said it's quick. I'm sorry, what?
That's the dude, right? The dude. That's really the female security guard, and he said that he's referenced. I believe. Here we go. That's him. Her. So that's her.
Sorry, 877.
That's her, and I know I'm going to tell you later in this next connection of this video that I'm posting for you, where the mother says that the person couldn't get the address down. Obviously, she gets it down and very calmly gives the notification. Remember, there is no crashed building at this time. Correction. This time there's the garage down, I believe. Here we go. She calls. Here we go.
24 2021.
Let me back that up. We want the timeline, so I got to go a little more. Here we go. I think Jeff calls a guy. I didn't want to put that in there for him calling him a guy too. He seems a little sensitive about that.
Let's go there. And so it's just a waste of time. I'm just going to show you the important
And he
ones.
changes again.
And it looks like the first call came in at 1:16 a.m.
Thursday, June 24, 2021.
So again, the first call that we're being released to us, because they edit out the earthquake thing. So this call has been edited, not by, I don't think by Jeff, but by the police department handing it out. They took away the narrative of earthquake. Why? Why can't she say it might have been an earthquake? That's important to me because it's going. I'm going to hit that again only around 10 minutes. Hold on.
0116
And so I verified the audio in two different places, off of here and somewhere else also. But this one is one that, since it's got the confusion, I want to align or fix the repairs of the multiple views this Jeff has posted. So let's repair that in a nice way. Here we go.
27 seconds.
PA County Police and Fire. What's the address of the emergency?
Yes, ma'am. It's a big explosion come at 8777 at Champlain.
I'm sorry, 8777 what?
Okay, so right here he's
So he says he.
conferring with the family that came down to the lobby to tell him to call the police.
I think they said it's quick.
I'm sorry, what? Hello?
Earthquake. Okay, then apparently exit stage left. No longer sticks around. The amygdala takes over and not a return call as we know it from the security guard. Exit stage right.
Thursday, June 24, 2021. 0117 and 03
117.
seconds.
So we think this is from the family that escaped out of their unit and heard the noises and went to tell the security guard. We think this was the security guard calling 911, but it just sounded to me like they were dumbfounded. They had no idea what their address was, and he said it sounded like there was an explosion, like just
Okay, hold on, wait for it. He's saying
an explosion. But then he was saying something to the people, and the people reported back to him that it was an earthquake. They thought it was an earthquake, not an explosion.
and him as the security guard.
And then when the
it's a
911
female.
operator couldn't hear it clearly, and I've asked him what was going on, and then the call just hung up. Remember, the building has not collapsed yet. This is only the garage that has collapsed up until now. That is what the lady is telling the security guard to tell 911. So that explains why they heard that big, what they thought was an explosion, or the lady thought was an earthquake.
We'll let that narrative.
Now, this next phone call came in about 10 seconds.
So that was his narrative on that, and well, we don't have it. So he's a little bit of filling in there, but little liberty. We'll just say that. But let's go with this next phone call, and we'll fix up one more.
After the previous call came into 911, and this is from one of those alarm monitoring companies.
Now this is good. The alarm monitoring companies. Now listen.
Thursday, June
Why this is important again is because it's going to say 911 police. Listen.
24, 2021. 0116 and 39 seconds.
Miami-Dade Police.
Miami-Dade Police. That's what the person stated. Miami-Dade Police. Not Miami-Dade Fire and Police. Miami-Dade Police. So the person continues, instead of saying, hey, I need the fire department, he still engages this person. This is where this is a little bit weird that he's still engaging the police when he needs fire. Here we go. The security company needs fire. Listen up.
Hello, this is Central Alarm Control. We're calling in a fire alarm for business.
We're calling about a fire alarm. Now, do you call 911 for 911 Miami-Dade for fire department for Surfside? The Surfside automatically cover Miami-Dade. I would guess so, but he got hold of police again, not fire department. There is a Miami-Dade fire department. wouldn't he want to call that dispatcher? Again, it could be that the police department dispatches the fire department, but taking too damn long.
Okay, 1 second.
Okay, 1 second. He's calling the
Now
fire
here,
alarm.
the 911
Right.
operator is going to leave this guy on hold for quite a few seconds here before coming back. I don't know what they were doing.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a little, really.
What's the address?
What's the address?
The address is 8777 Collins Avenue.
That's it. All right, now dispatch it. And you can get the rest of the details, wait one, do them, and send off the fire department, dispatch and try to, he's not there. He's a security company. Got it. You really can't give me details. You're calling about an alarm trigger. I'm going to get...
8777 Collins Avenue? Yes.
I guess I'll segue into that and segue back to the audio. So let's segue into this device here. Sprinkler water flow switches. It's a manual station. It's a sprinkler water flow systems. You can look those up. Now let's go to a product like this one here, and it's going to take 2 minutes. We'll get back to the video, but I want you to see what probably sent that notification for the fire department to get going. This company is Influx and Sprinkler Sense. Now I'm not saying that that's the product.
Flow switch test
I'm not saying it's their product, but let's talk about their system.
is an exacting solution for sprinkler alarm flow detection.
Sprinkler alarm flow detection. All right. So you've got to find a product, and you saw what it is. Now it works. Let me just fast forward. There's a sensor here. There are sensors in multiple places probably with this for flow, and it will send off a signal to how it sends off. Let's fast forward and audio it. It's temperature related because the water is going to be different from what it's stable at. The new water coming in about 50 degrees or so will set this off, or the variances, however they set it to trigger. Now listen to them state as such in 20 seconds or so. So let's
Sprinkler Sense senses the water movement by measuring the cooling effect of flow past the sensor legs.
You understand that? At that point, the operator would have talked to the operator at the same time. It doesn't make 2-3 phone calls. It makes one phone call and says, "We're operating, buddy." That's it. We're operating. We're putting flow downstream here. We don't know where it's going. It's going downstream. You see, there are the heads. Now this would have been a single head because it's temperature related. But the water pressure differential would have came across there, temperature related, and it would have said, "Doop," temperature related. And it would have made the phone call. Shit.
The increasing flow of water is sensed by the unit.
You see what's going on? Shit.
An alarm signal is sent.
Hello. Okay, so do you see that? Alarm system was sent. It says alarms, it is sent. Let's go back there to that again. Sorry.
The flow of water is sensed by the unit.
Listen. Oh,
An alarm signal is sent.
an alarm signal sent. Okay, that's it. So now we go back to the audio, and is this the audio? I hope it is. I'm going to press play, and let's tie it in.
How long did you say? Fire alarm?
What kind of
What's the
alarm?
name of the account?
What's your name and account and all that? He's doing paperwork now, office work.
Is Champlain?
So I can't take it. I can't listen to the guy anymore about that. And I want to state that. So you want to know how long did the 911 operator make before that person that took the phone call, before they finally called the fire department, that timeline. And now let's go to this video 9:33, and I didn't scrub the rest of the video. We just need to get this one out of here. 9:33, 9:23. Let's see.
A bridge collapse?
Oh, okay. I already maybe it didn't. So let's go to let's hear. I think I've keyed up saying 616 for some reason. Let's go to 616 and let it roll.
7 calling.
Right.
Okay, Avenue.
That's her calling
We
back.
have a call already. We have help on the way out there.
Okay, thank you so much.
So they have a caller. They have a way on help on the way out there. So that's it. So she says thank you so much. So apparently that it's already gone through the call. Let's get back to the follow-up on that, because this is a return phone call. And no, we don't have. Let me see this timeline again. No, we don't. Shit. No, we need to know when she called. Let's do that again.
05-865-4740.
Yeah, take.
Number 126. 126, okay, thank you very much. You're welcome.
Thursday, June 24, 2021, 01:17 and 55 seconds.
Okay, it's 117. That's her calling back, and they say we already got a call out there. Now let's go to bounce this up to. Let me start it here. I need Jeff to talk, and then I know where it is. Hold on.
Seemed like something underground. Everything exploded down at 8777 Collins. Okay, Avenue.
Listen, we've got somebody already
We
there.
have a call already. We have help on the way out there.
Okay, thank you so much.
So that was a return phone call, and she took care of it. Now maybe he doesn't talk. I don't recall.
Thursday, June 24, 2021, 01:18 and 20 seconds.
So this is 118 now, right? 118. The building has not collapsed yet. Not collapsed yet. Now let's run it.
If you go back a few seconds, right before that bell tone, before the automated voice comes on,
Yeah.
you could hear her say to one of the other operators, it was an earthquake. She was starting to say earthquake.
Yeah.
Another 911 operator
Okay, wait.
telling the Miami-Dade folks here that there was a
Why did I do
roof
this?
collapse in the garage.
Wait a minute. That's not where I need to be. Hold on. 7:35. Let's go.
01:21 and 57 seconds.
Okay, 0121.
Miami-Dade Police and Fire, what is the address of the emergency?
877 Collins Avenue.
Okay, that's the nearest. That's the nearest son. All right, that's the guy. 877 Collins Avenue. He's very clear about it.
Hold on, give me 1 second, sir. You're not on 877 Collins Avenue.
Now there's the part where people mix up. I think Jeff says it. Why even bother calling? Let's hear it.
The 911 operator making me wonder why he even called in the first place.
See, but Jeff's missing. This guy has great data in that phone call. During his phone call, the building collapsed. Let's give us a timeline of that. During that phone call, it's going to be to verify. So for the FIU lady that's doing the witness statements, it's going to be to verify her statement where she says she thought it was an earthquake. It's at 10 minutes, and so you're going to have to bear with me, like 2:30 on this, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. And then I'll switch over to her account. This all leads up to it. Here we go.
So this call comes in at 1:22 a.m., which is about 2 minutes before the collapse of the building.
Thursday, June 24, 2021, 01:21 and 57 seconds.
Miami-Dade Police and Fire, what is the address of the
Miami-Dade Police and Fire. You heard that? The other guy said police. Here we go.
emergency?
877 Collins Avenue. Hold on, give me 1 second, sir. You're not on 877 Collins Avenue.
Now, see, the other operator's being a amygdala dick, right? He's got triggered by the guy because he located him with his cell phone. And so now he's trying to tell the guy he's not at 877 because he's spying on him. And so he's telling him, no, you also stated you're at 88th and Collins, so you can't be at 877 Collins. Clearly, it's in the same friggin' eyesight, right? 877 and 8800. Clearly, your caller can be just an eyesight of the location he's calling for. This is BS what the guy is doing. You know, so that needs to be addressed too. You know, chill out, dude. Let the guy finish his message, get it across, and relax. He's giving the data. And he's stating that, and he wants to argue with him. You're not there. Now, there's two operators on the phone at this time. Probably a handoff, like I said. Maybe the other one, he called the wrong, it got transferred to a 911 in Surfside, and he had to bounce it to Miami-Dade, or Miami-Dade bounced it. Well, we heard she was the last one at Miami-Dade Fire Department. So apparently they bounced it to him, to that lady. And this clown is interfering with the conversation.
If you're on 88th Street, you understand?
122.
Sorry, this is Miami Beach with a transfer. Sir, if you're on
Right.
88th Street and Collins Avenue, you're not at 877 Collins. Holy shit! Miami-Dade.
All right, so now he says, holy shit. That's the time that, he's realized he's taken on the process and the building's collapsing.
Yeah. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm trying to track them.
See, now she's trying to track him now. So now she's trying to locate him using his phone. That's some sneaky shit that they're using these people. You leave your GPS on, you screw yourself like this.
He's mapping at 88th Street and Collins Avenue. Hurry up!
You heard? Not only he stated he was at 88 Collins, he says he's mapping at 88 and Collins. So the guy's using his own phone against them to see, to gripe about footage.
Putting a collapse in a garage.
Now, he was reporting a collapse in the garage. That's important there. See? So when he called, the building wasn't collapsed. He was reporting the collapse in the garage. But he called first to this clown and got the details as far as putting the collapse in the ground. And the guy's like, oh, okay, let me transfer this over to these people. So he actually called before. So there's another 911 call operator out there for you investigators out there. This is the one to the lady, Miami-Dade. But he wound up on this clown's phone 911 phone call first. So you need to get to that one and see what the beginning of it, what it said. So we're still missing a 911 phone call history. Remember, he called him first, so he's got recorded phone call. And then we pick up when they're calling 911s at Miami-Dade's 911 call system. So there's another one out there. And he was reporting the collapse of the garage. He might have said a lot more details. So for the investigation, the lady that's doing it at Miami, University of Miami, which I'm sort of attacking in a video that hadn't been posted yet, or it's going to post live soon, or it already did. I'm just saying how she should go after more of this to get the timeline, the history. That's supposed to be her job, and as far as I know, she's never done it before, per her own bios.
Public Avenue.
8 garage. Okay. What is the phone number?
She's still saying garage, and he's already said, holy fuck, something like that about the building.
Avenue.
So he said it now four times, and this clown's still going to harass him.
Okay, so tell me exactly what happened. Sir?
I'm sorry.
What's going on? Tell me exactly what happened.
I don't know. There's a lot of smoke going on. I can't see the thing right now.
You see smoke?
Get out of here.
So he is protecting his family at that point, telling him we got to get out of here. Remember, he played hero and said I had to tell him to get out of there. Remember, I said he never said that in the building, but then they switched it around. Well, I think I owe him an apology now. He did say that at a different time and location. We got to get out of here. He didn't say that inside the building when he said, so I don't know really because he did say that he told everybody, look, I got to grab everybody to get out. But he's saying it maybe his brain twisted it up. He did say it, but when they were over there by the pile, maybe in his mind he believed he said it or wished he said it at the building. And so you added into that point.
Sir.
Where are we going? We gotta go. Gotta keep going.
Okay, see him here? We got to go. We got to keep going. Somebody says, where are we going? Now, I want you to catch on in a few moments. The mother at 9:33, so you're going to have to bear with it. The mother will stay banging on the door. Remember, she's going to talk about, she thought it was an earthquake. You can hear in the background screaming, it's an earthquake, it's an earthquake. Listen.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
What are you seeing?
I can't see nothing but smoke.
Okay, it sounds like feet are running, right?
And the cops are right here.
Okay, so if the police are there, we can hang up, sir. If the police are there.
We gotta get someone's house.
We already have help on the way. If you see police...
Come on, we gotta get in here.
Do you see any flames?
We can't see a thing. It's all smoke here.
Okay, I heard Miami Beach say something about a bridge collapse.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. That's the call, right? Miami Beach is the 911 operator. He got dumped in. That's on this phone call now. So Miami Beach is what I'm extrapolating. That was on the phone call. So you need Miami Beach's 911 phone call. Anybody can grab that. They're going to have a lot of phone calls also. If that was one, how many more do they have?
Yeah.
A bridge collapse?
No, a building.
A building collapse?
Yeah.
Now listen to her. That's her banging in the background on a door. She's telling people to get out. In her mind, though, I want you to listen to her own statement. She believes that she told them that, can let me in. She never, as far as I know, she never said that. Well, I'm going to listen to it with you again and see if I can pick it up. But she never said that. But it's interesting how our minds in a stressful situation kind of remembers differently. And this is why it's so important to evaluate and help people understand what they might have twisted by mistake. Can you figure it out? You got to do verify, cross-check it. Now, here we go. And I think he just says slow down or something of that nature. His amygdala is caught up. His frontal cortex is working. His mother's still in mama bear mode. He already knows he's in a safe zone. She is not. So it's 9:33 and she's still in battle mode. Watch. She'll catch on sometime after 40 seconds or so, I guess.
No, Mom, relax. Take a deep breath.
Nice.
We're here. We're safe, Mom. We got
Here. Well, she's speaking another language, perhaps, and that I can't hear it. Or maybe it is English, but maybe she's saying something in that language that's saying, let's see if we can get inside. I don't know.
Mom, relax. Take a deep breath. Mom. It's earthquake outside!
Earthquake outside. You heard it? There's an earthquake outside. Earthquake.
It's an earthquake outside!
Do you know how many floors the building had in it?
Hello?
Sir, help has already been sent. Do you know how many floors the building?
Oh, where are you guys going? I don't know. I cannot see. I can't stay here. This is perfect. There's nothing here that's blocking it.
See, he's evaluated. There's nothing here. We're safe here. You heard him?
All right, sir.
See, she said earthquake again. So let's get rid of that now. And let's bounce over to. I'm trying to find the hold on. So this was the other 911 phone calls. My verification. Just want to show you that I was doing that too. This is the Miami Heralds. They did some editing. Also, I thought I'd do that video for my Jeff. All right. So then, listen. Minutes after Surfside, I hit that one again, and then I hit this one, the recorded one from Tampa Bay. It's all, like right here. It's all adding up. And remember, it's Miami-Dade right here released it, but it's also the beach that has a police department, obviously. All right, and again here, where she says earthquake. The other lady, the security guard. I'm in Champlain Towers. Something is going on here. You got to get us out of here. And quote. Those were quotes. It seems like there was an earthquake. Oh my God, the whole building collapsed. Okay. So, I'm sorry. That would be somebody else then. I don't know. I don't really care too much at this moment on that one. Yep, went through there. As you can see, if you pull it up, Jeff is owning everything on Champlain pretty much. Owning it. Well, that's welcome to YouTube. So, doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. Just, hand it off. All right, so I have to give you one more. All right, so this is the lady that's going to do the investigating there. Doctor blankety blank. These are her qualifications. None of them appear to be investigative. Have a one-on-one person-to-person investigative knowledge or training right here. None of that seems to be present. It's just, I guess it's a softball I'm trying to throw, so please take it as a softball. It's just some type of nepotism going on where it's not the most qualified person to do this job, but it's just odd. If I picked it, it wouldn't be that person. Let me find. It would be someone that knows a combination. Shoot, I'm trying to find Great. Hold on. I need channel 10. Great. Hopefully this is it. I've got tabs I was looking at. Oh, I'm going to get to that with another video with you. Shoot. Really? Okay, here we go. Got it. Are we good? So this is that night. And I'm going to stop and pause and give a couple narratives. Right now, yes, it's inappropriate laughter, I call it. It's not, I don't think it's on purpose. The other thing is I'll just explain when we get to it.
Before the tower fell, along with her daughter Chani, one of the two children who were there. Thank you both so much for being with us. Sarah, I want people to understand how close this really was. It was late, or early in the morning, 12:30, 12:40.
No big deal. This is fresh off the pike, so it is that night, of that day. So she's had time to change clothes, etc.
40 in the morning, you were doing emails, and then you heard a sound. What happened?
Exactly. I just came from a party, like spiritual party was, and it was 12:30, and it was a little bit noisy. My son and my daughter been around me, so I didn't pay attention to the surrounding. So about 12:45, she went to take a shower, and my son was busy. So suddenly it was quiet.
All right, suddenly it was quiet, all right? Notice that she says suddenly it was quiet. So there's a pause there. There is a peace. There's no, like when they went to take the shower, it wasn't noisy around her anymore, but then I immediately heard the bang, bang, bang. That's not what she's saying. It was quiet.
I was sitting and checking my emails and my messages.
Okay, she's checking emails and messages. That took some time. That also has a sign-in time. You can see when she signed in her emails, all right? So.
And then I start to hear knocking sounds.
Then I started hearing knocking sounds.
Knock, knock, knock here and knock, knock.
So she's a right hand knock, knock, knock here, knock, knock, knock.
And I said, okay, somebody probably hanging pictures on the wall. And then it was more intense. And I said, oh, probably they're doing some small renovation. And then suddenly around 1:10, I hear like a smash, the wall is collapsing.
Around 1:10, she hears like the wall is collapsing. She hears. But interesting where she places. Listen.
The wall above me.
The wall above her is collapsing.
And I said, wow, they're really doing major construction. I need to take care of this problem. It was already 1:10 in the morning, so it doesn't make sense. So I ran to the security guy that I live in the ground floor.
So she went to the security guy. So what does that tell you? She looks at the security person living on the ground floor. She couldn't tell if the security guard was a male or female. So I'm going to say that counts against you on your observations, all right? Because you couldn't figure out was it male or female, and you couldn't figure it out. And I know that there's been some comments about that. She still looks like a woman to me. There's no beard going on there or anything else. Still looks like a woman. Just like she looks like a woman.
Intense. I said, oh, probably they're doing some small renovation.
I backed it up.
And then suddenly around 1:10, I hear like a smash, the wall is collapsing.
Now, remember this is 8:19. So I don't know if she heard that. I don't know if she heard that or she now projected it into her story, injected it. Remember, this is the person thought it was an earthquake when it happened, and she stayed in that mode for multiple seconds, many seconds. I'd go as far as a minute, thinking it was still an earthquake, even though the building's already fallen down and the sun is stable. He already knows it's not shaking on his feet, and he said it's stable. She couldn't process that it was not an earthquake yet. And that was her only resource to that. So now we come to her story, and it's like, okay. So I have to know that you take a while to take an uptake on things. So now you're telling me that you were able to process that it was a floor collapsing above your head. Well, your last statement earlier that day was on a recorded phone call in the background, was you thought it was an earthquake, and you were banging at doors when the building's already collapsed and you could take on new data. So I am going to give her a discount for the collapse above her head. That she might add that because she already knows now at 8:19 that the building collapsed, and she's adding that. It didn't. If it was collapsing above her head, she's not getting out of there, right? And let's go back to the knock, knock, knock. This part is the part that triggered her. I'm not sure about that second part and banging on the floor. And now I'm giving I take. You got to wait for I take that back. You got to wait for me to take it back.
Probably hanging pictures on the wall. And then it was more intense. I said, oh, probably they're doing some small renovation. And then suddenly around 1:10, I hear like a smash. The wall is collapsing. The wall.
I'm just letting you know my thought process. That's why I'm doing it that way. But I know where I'm going with it, so relax.
Above me. And I said, wow, they're really doing major construction. I need to take care of this problem. It was already 1:10 in the morning, so it doesn't make sense. So I ran to the security guy that I live in the
security guy
ground floor, so it's first floor. So it's really a wall separated between my apartment to the security guy.
So she says there's only a wall separated from her apartment to the security guy. So that tells you that she doesn't even know her own layout, right? So that gets sorry, I gotta adjust myself. She gets another discount for that. Because you live there, yes, you may be new, but you should know that you don't live next to the security guy. You live next to the gym. And then there's the elevator system. And then there's the security guy. Girl. But the lady. So then she doesn't know her. So now the embellishing part comes in, or whatever this crap is she's doing now.
And I ran to him and I said, do you hear this sound? It doesn't make sense in the middle of the night, early morning, people doing construction. So he said, yeah, I hear this also. No.
She's throwing a he's out there pretty hard, isn't she?
So I said, so what do you do about that? The minute I say, what do you do about, then it was a big boom.
He said, so this is good. This is good time on that stuff. So the moment he tells him that, she tells him that, she tells him, of course, I mean she, I'm not being smart, I'm just referencing her wording. So then she says that. The moment she said that, the reply is from the building, the big boom. This will be the parking lot area, right?
And I was running to see where the sound come from.
Where the sound come from. So she shows herself going to the right to go look, which with the right hand, which is good indicators of real story.
And I saw all the garage collapse. I couldn't believe it. I thought I'm in a movie. I look again and I ran back to the hallway.
Okay, so she's going through the process, ran back to the hallway.
And I saw my two kids standing next to the door. Then
I saw my two kids standing next to the door.
Of my apartment and don't move.
And
I was screaming, it's an earthquake, an earthquake. I was thinking very fast. I said, it's not construction, it's an earthquake. And
so see? So she recalls she just thought construction a moment before and said, oh, so it's not an earthquake, it's not construction, it's an earthquake. So she ran the data again. Remember the way my system works? You got data, conclusive files. Remember, I made a wrong conclusive file, but it existed because I said that, oh, it's probably she probably didn't hear anything fall from above her, because that's what we do. We evaluate. But now she says that, I'm like, oh, so she's proving that she did reference that file again and said, deleted it herself and said, no, that banging I heard was not, the dropping of the floor, if you will, wall, she said wall, was not construction. You understand what you just processed? Let's back it up. Listen.
Of my apartment and don't move. And I was screaming, it's an earthquake, an earthquake. I was thinking very fast. I said, it's not construction, it's an earthquake. And
that's very important what she did. That proves to me that her first part of her story was genuine. Okay, I told you I'd take it back. Genuine. Okay.
I was running. I told the security guy, call the police.
Okay, security guy, right? Call the police.
Put the alarm so people will, be
I believe she said pull the alarm. All right, so.
Aware about this. So.
Now, did she pull the alarm? Remember I said they had an alarm system trigger there? Was it near? Did they pull the alarm? Did the alarm system not come from the hammer that I'm going to talk about, or I already have posted about the hammer of the broken pipe? Or is it, did Near get the security guard to pull the alarm? The security guard said nothing ever about pulling an alarm. So she actually called in. She called in, not pulling an alarm, but she called in. And so there was no siren. The sirens came on, the clackle, it all came on afterwards.
My daughter was looking at me. I said, but I'm with my bathrobe. I said, I don't.
Right, you're with the bathrobe. This proves that she was at the, from the From the bedroom, from the doorway.
Ran as fast as much as you can.
And it's true because he was blushing about it right there.
She was running with her brother towards the exit of the building. And the security guy, he was shocked. He didn't know what to do.
The security guy was shocked. He didn't know what to do. Frozen.
I said, call the police. And he said, but what is the address of this building?
Remember, he didn't know. I'm using he now, interchangeably, referencing the security guard, Shamoka. So remember this, we had the first phone call that Jeff had posted where she says 877. 877. They said, what's their street address? And then the phone mysteriously hangs up. And then she calls back later with 877 Collins. So apparently she did have to find the address, and she didn't want to be stuck on the phone trying to pretend like she didn't know the address, apparently, per this person's statement.
Exit of the building, and the security guy, he was shocked. He didn't know what to do. I said, call the police. And he said, but what is the address of this building?
You see, at 8:20 at night, you don't make up a story like that, right? So her story is more true sounding than any next story I would hear, because this is a detail that you don't have to add that, but it's being added at 8:20 p.m. that night. And hold on, this is somebody reposted it. I was hoping they would show show less. They hide the dates now. How do people manage to do that? All right, so so this is true. This is what I find to be true.
He didn't even know.
He didn't know. He was so confused.
And now the newscaster apparently has not even researched who the security guard is either, because he states he. Listen.
He said, but what is the address of this building?
He didn't even know.
He didn't know. He was so confused.
He didn't know. The reporter said. He didn't say, wait a minute, you mean Shamoka. So the reporter has not, by 8:20 at night, has not figured out that the security guard is a female, supposedly being in the hospital getting a leg taken care of by now. I don't know.
And I said, 877 said, no, write for me. And I told my son, fast, write for him. And he wrote, and we ran out.
So remember, the newspaper shows it as Miami Herald shows them as just leaving out without stopping to talk to Shamoka to give out the phone number. The mother said the son wrote it down. I tend to believe that.
I said, no, write for me. And I told my son, fast, write for him. And he wrote, and we...
She said, and he wrote. And...
ran out of the building, and I told my kids, run as fast as you can, crossing the street. We crossed Collins. We just crossed Collins. God watched us. God was waiting for us to leave the building. And then another big boom. And then we didn't see anything. It was suddenly quiet after the big boom, and it was white clouds all over.
All right, white clouds over. So this is where she's going to now forget how she banged on the door and thought it was an earthquake. Listen.
And I thought I'm by myself in this world. And I told him still running, and told my son, call the police again, call the police again. And probably my son was looking. He was very curious to see. I didn't.
She said probably. Now she's guessing. Listen.
Tell them to watch what's going on in the back. But probably he looked.
Probably.
And he saw the building collapse. But I said, it's an earthquake. We don't know what is safe, where is the ground is safe. Ran, and he's still running and running.
See, she thinks she was still running and running. In reality, she was doing mama bear, banging on people's door, telling them, get out, it's an earthquake. But she's going to sell herself short. Listen.
I couldn't breathe. I couldn't do anything.
She did say that. Remember, I can't breathe.
God help.
She couldn't get a breath. She was hyperventilating, more than likely.
God help. And I didn't know what to do. We've been really running like 3-4 blocks away from this building. And then I said, I need to breathe. So I said, I need to knock at somebody's house to help me. I couldn't do anything anymore.
You know what? Maybe after they hung up, maybe they did go somewhere and she couldn't breathe and try to ask for help.
So my kid said, Mommy, it's already late. Nobody will open the door. I said, it's an earthquake. People need to know, maybe to help us. Suddenly a guy came with his big dog. I'm looking at the window, and I said, please open the door. I cannot breathe. He said, no.
Nope.
Honey.
Yeah. Nope. Nope. No help. People don't help.
When your mother...
Now, her story is not to be taken lightly. She has a critical piece of information on her story. I told you I'll get you into the building. This is my hint for her story.
When you heard the sounds and your mother tells you have to go, what did you think was going on?
And we're in the building now because they're telling the story from inside the building, right? Her mother told of how she went back there, etc. And the security guard didn't know where he was, and he thinks he's
just in the beginning, because I was in the shower, so I thought like in the beginning someone was doing construction also. So
she's saying she was in the shower and thought somebody was doing construction. Interesting. That, you know,
when I was going to go out of like the bathroom, I was going to see inside the living room like planks of wood, because
she thought she heard noise. So she goes out. The mother already went down there. She thought she got out the shower. She thought she sees planks of wood down on the floor.
Maybe the construction, like, so I thought like someone like was like doing damage.
That's good because she doesn't know that the building's made of block, right? It makes sense that she would think it's wood, you know, wood, good construction.
Into our apartment, and then I ran out and I see like just like white particles just like coming at me.
Do you realize what she just said? I see white particles coming just at me. Now, YouTube deleted my video on this where I talked about the Ring camera. I can't find it now. I've already written them, asked them, can they give me back my Ring camera video where I talk about those particles and how they project on a certain angle. So I've already written them about it. Sometimes they give me back my video. Oh, it was a mistake. Whatever. So anyway, here is her stating about those particles. So we have the building now. The building at this time, before they leave, has already got a shake. Remember, above us, we have the lady probably waking up now, going to the door at 611. At 611. Remember, 711 is above her. The Ring camera is above her. That was part of that video, one of the videos I did too. But you got to remember, her wall is 711's right by that 711, the Ring camera, that wall there. That's her wall below. That has the two-finger crack in it, if you will. The front wall in that one. So that what you see is 711 is actually taking place already at 611. 711's Ring camera motion sensor probably sending off the file to the cloud for the guy to look at. Because it didn't recover it, obviously, the hard drive, the disk or anything. So it's that part of the clip that it was able to snatch up and send to us. Now,
like someone like was like doing damage into our apartment, and then I ran out and I see like just like white particles just like coming at me.
Now, how would she know that at 8:22? The Ring camera was not posted by then. So she wouldn't know to talk about like those white particles. She wouldn't be able to add that to her story. She wouldn't have that knowledge. Remember, she thought it was wood. Now all of a sudden she talks about white particles, just like we talked about or saw at 711's Ring camera. She just gave us inside the building. At this time, the building's already rattled. It's not that much of a delay. It's pretty fast. So when we want to get all these multiple breaks, we've got to already start tugging on a building like right then. As soon as the garage goes down, we're tugged on the building. In fact, we've already pulled on L9. We've already pulled on that. She's able to finish her shower. She didn't say the water cut off. We've already pulled on it at this point. And she's now getting out. We got part of the ceiling spraying at her. Remember, she thought it would be 2x4s. She doesn't know construction. But what she said there was ideal because she doesn't know construction and she doesn't know to make this part of the story up. So I'm saying that it's genuine because you can't make it up. The white particles are part of the ceiling, right? They're shooting in her face.
Like in the beginning, someone was doing construction also. So I thought when I was going to go out of like the bathroom, I was going to see inside the living room like planks of wood, because like maybe the construction, like so I thought like someone like was like doing damage into our apartment, and then I ran out and I see like just like white particles just like coming at me.
Okay, so I did think of the sun opening that door and that the particles from the collapsed deck came through the door. I can't find where he opened the door. He states that he went to, that he observed. It's real ambiguous to me about whether he stepped onto the porch. At one point he says he does. I sort of discounted that whole video because my throat, coughing, hold on. Okay, he was I'm going to dry pretty quick. So let me drink something. So then there we go. Drink some carbonated water. Hold on. Okay. No, I know I did not. mute that part because I wanted that refreshing sound for you. So I discounted his one interview because by then I did so many videos and it seemed too like he was clocking my data. So I don't like the marrying of my data. If it's too much in, I know I make mistakes in my assumptions. So when it nails it 100%, I'm like, well, where's my mistake margin? It's, I nailed it 100. I really do count on being off to some degree. So, where's my mistake margin on that? How did I nail that perfectly? And that's why I don't like the convenience of it. Where he nailed the butterfly, where he said he saw the deck go in the butterfly and he showed his hand. That's my butterfly that I've been saying was first. So I don't like the convenience of, even though it supports me, I don't like the convenience of it. So, and then we have, so for the lady from FIU, she should go to Channel 10 and ask them, and NIST should ask them, can we have the full interview that you have with the son? Because they only did one-sided. You hear him talking like he's answering his own question. Obviously, they asked questions. Obviously, there was some editing going on there, so he had more data to present. It might be that he nails it 100% and everything's true, but that would probably be one of my whatever. I just find it too convenient. Here we go, for me.
And then I was like, this is not normal. So then I ran out of the apartment, but I was like, at the same time, I'm with a robe and a towel. Like, I'm not really going out in public like this.
So what is she saying? She ran to the door and stopped, and then the mother attached her?
So, in the beginning, like, no one really thinks, like, in the beginning, in the moment, you're just shocked. You're like, what's going on? Like, things are just collapsing, but you don't know, is the whole building about to collapse? Like, you don't know what's going on.
I know this is your first time back anywhere near the building. Just what does it feel like to be here?
Now I see how great the miracle was, and it's painful and scary because I see what really happened, and how many people, we don't know what's happened to them really. I don't want to say, we don't know. And I said how lucky we've been, and thank God what's happened. And we've really been safe of this trauma, but we are still in trauma.
That's right. You understand? She understands it. We're still in trauma. You heard that?
The recovery, the pains that we and probably other people going through, you cannot even measure. You cannot really say. I'm speechless. I don't know what to tell you, because it's when I enter this site over here, I said the first time I'm very close. I didn't want to come. I didn't want to come close to the area.
It triggers danger. That's why she didn't want to come close.
Like I'm going through now. Like
I know you feel that God is watching you.
Because she got to get away from that building because of danger.
You made it out. I'm so glad you listened to your intuition, and for you, Chani, listen to your mother. I think that's one of the lessons here. I'm so glad you're well, and I wish you the best going through this. I know it's hard.
I want just to thank you. Also, God really helped us, and also all the crews that really helping. The community is amazing.
Inside.
She said the community is amazing. A minute ago, she just said that the guy wouldn't let her in. So, yeah.
The living room, like planks of wood, because like maybe the construction, like so I thought like someone was doing damage into our apartment, and then I ran out and I see like just like white particles just like coming out.
So we know where her bathroom is. We know when she ran out, she saw white particles. So she went out in the robe, and we need to know from more communication with her. Did she just run out naked and then found the robe out in the living room? Doesn't make sense, right? It would have been in the bathroom, you would think, so she doesn't walk naked in front of her mother, nor her mother, or nor her brother. Maybe that's okay by them, I don't know. But the robe she had to put on. Where was the robe? Okay, that matters, because if she get into the other room, and that's where she ran out to at that point. Now we have to move the debris in her face over to another room, the room between K and L, where as the shower comes out, it's like a little mini hallway you got to come down. So where is she referencing? Was it she said in her face there, and she shows it towards her face, was it the middle wall that's shooting debris at her, or was it off of when she came out of there? So was it the west side of L, or did she go out into the foyer area where you go into the door to exit, which is pretty close to the shower area? You come out, if I remember right, you come out something like the shower's here, and then you come down a little teeny little bump out, and you maybe make a left, and here's the door again. So when she comes out the shower, was it right there in the shower that did it? Was it after she put the robe on in the other room, or did she put the robe on in this room? Did she walk this way when she noticed everything coming in her face? When she got out the shower and she turned off the water, did she feel any vibration? When she turned off the water, did it make a loud bang? When she turned off the water, before she turned off the water, did the water decrease in pressure? Does she remember the water getting cold on her, hot on her, anything there? And that helps tell us what's going on, if anything at all, with the plumbing there. The lighting was on at the time. It tells us about the electrical wiring. When she made her turn to come, again, did she feel any shaking in her feet? None of them reported it, besides when I mentioned it. Then, conveniently, her brother mentions that he was feeling vibration of his feet. I think I did find somewhere he said that twice now. So I just want to show that she's one of our best witnesses to tell us that the original time. Remember, there's a break at that point after they leave. There's a few minutes to go by, and at that time, the video comes on. Adriana takes the video, and so they've already left, but we've already got shaking in her building at a wall of something, and she goes outside. At the time she goes outside, could that still be the floor inside their living room that came down? Question mark, because Adriana, we've already got the debris inside, right? Because it came into her face. She's our best witness for that. Where was our son at the time? Did he notice the debris in his face? He doesn't have to notice it. So if he's listening, you don't have to notice it. You don't have to pick that ball up. Your sister did. Hand it off to your sister. Let her keep it. Your mother didn't notice it. She was in the hallway. She didn't talk about debris in her face in the hallway. So now we're putting a zone of this debris in the face stuff. We know 7-Eleven supports debris coming there about that time with a Ring camera. Ring camera has a timeline also. You tie the Ring camera's timeline into the particles in there to this one. You get hold of the Ring camera guy in his cloud and find out if he had other triggers that didn't record anything that he thinks was unworthy of loading up. But yet those triggers could indicate the shaking of the building. So this is what I'm driving at when I'd really like to help this lady out, but you got to hand it off. You got to, have a crazy mind like mine. You got to know how to tie all this stuff together and be that crazy to worry about every micro detail that has to match. So now we have details that I'm loading up with the hammer thing, which shows that there appears that the alarm system. So you got to track out the alarm system. You got to track down the timeline of the alarm system, timeline of the phone calls, timeline not just of Miami-Dade police, but the timeline of the first 911 calls that probably went to Miami Beach police 911 call. He transferred to the 911 operator through extrapolations. That's what I come out to. All right, love you guys. This is a long video, but hopefully this will blow your mind and go, oh, shoot, wow. Anyway, you can imagine how if I piece together things like this, how I piece together every damn thing. And it's not a fun thing to be in my mind, to see everything in such order. And I'm not orderly, I want to make it clear. Don't think of me as anal. I've got papers like Einstein's desk. If you look up Einstein's desk, I make him look like an amateur. No, I don't have it stacked up to the ceiling type stuff. I'm not like that. No, it still looks like a salvageable desk. I wouldn't know salvageable. I wouldn't use that. That's reaching. Salvageable to me, I know where everything is. All right. But it's just the order of my mind that I can keep track of all that crap. Bye. Love you.